Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Sarge Approved. Hey, Fancy.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
You're looking kind of rocking tonight. Our listeners can't see right now, but she's rocking this sweet trucker hat that says Mama Bear on it.
Uh-huh.
It's badass. I like it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Who's our guest tonight? We have a pretty cool guest.
Yeah, we do. Our guest tonight is Tony Pike. Hey, Tony. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Really good. Thank you for joining us this evening. We've been looking forward to chatting with you.
Mm-hmm. Tony, would you describe
Thanks for having
yourself?
me.
Yeah.
Would you describe yourself as a survivalist? Is that the best way? I know people don't like. I know you guys don't like to be called survival experts or anything other than an avid camper, a la Alan Kay.
Gosh, I don't. How do you describe? There's so many. The way the world has gone so crazy with political correctness and stuff. It's like, what category do I want to put myself in? I used to describe myself as a survivalist, but then a bunch of the crazy militia guys kind of got that name. So I don't know if that's the right term. And to call me an expert, I don't know if that's necessarily accurate either. I'm a primitive skills specialist.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
It might. It sounds a little. It sounds a little bit douchey for anybody to call themselves an expert in anything. Don't you think? If you're a self-proclaimed expert in something, come on, dude. I like survivalist. I think that's solid.
You hear me use that word occasionally, survivalist. I don't know. It's just kind of a quick way to put me in kind of a category, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they've made a category for Tony Pike yet. I don't know.
Oh.
Then that's good.
I'm self-reliant. I like to, I don't know. I have a lot of views that aren't shared by a lot of society. So I don't know. Well, I guess maybe you guys can get to the heart of it and figure out what box to put me in.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of some stuff, Tony Pike.
Yeah, but maybe it's not a box. It might not be a box.
It could be a triangle.
Oh no!
And it could be an oval shape. Maybe some kind of polygon. I don't know what a polygon is, but it sounded.
Yeah.
What did I get myself into?
So where are you coming to us from tonight, Tony?
Yeah, good question. Where are you, dude?
I am in right smack dab in the middle of God's country, southwest Missouri. I'm kind of on the edge of the Ozarks.
Okay.
It's in the state of misery. It's like 97 degrees here and 99% humidity.
Oh.
But other than the 2 months of the summer that's like this, it's a really beautiful place to live.
Where are you calling us from? Are you in the middle of the wilderness in Missouri right now, up in a tree, trying to get some cell phone reception?
I'm actually under a rock down by the river next to the van that I live in.
You made the cell phone that you're talking to us on right now, didn't you? Out of sticks and whatever other stuff you could rustle up.
How'd you know? I took some nettle and made some good cordage out of it because I knew it'd have to be pretty tough to pull it tight enough to send these sound waves. And, I used a clamshell on my end.
That's amazing. That is amazing. No, but seriously.
High-tech caveman.
High-tech caveman.
So you're really not coming to us from the middle of the wilderness right now, are you? Currently, are you in civilization?
I am in civilization. Unfortunately, I teach. It's what's funny, and a lot of my friends have the same scenario going on in their lives. We're wilderness experts because we've spent so much time in the wilderness, and now that the demand is so large for us that we hardly get a chance to go out into the wilderness anymore. We're so busy running around teaching, going back and forth across the country, teaching survival skills and stuff like that we hardly get free time to get out and just go enjoy our lives in nature. Yeah. So that's the way my life's been for the last couple of years. I've just oh my gosh, I wake up early in the morning and hit the ground running and run all day till I'm so tired. When I sit down, I go to sleep, and I'm enjoying life. Though I've had a lot of crazy experiences in the last couple of years. A lot of fun, a lot of adventures, and made all kinds of friends turned into family. In a short amount of time in these different scenarios that I've been placed in the last couple of years. So
yeah. That's awesome.
No, yeah, I'm not really in the woods. I'm really hoping that I can get into the woods sometime soon. I was out in the woods last week. I took a group down an undisclosed river in southwest Missouri.
Okay.
For an adventure course for my school.
Secret river.
And had a good time out there. We did some trapping and hunting and gathered some wild edibles, and I found 2 really nice arrowheads while I was out there. We stayed in a cave that an Indian chief from my area had lived in.
Wow.
And that was really cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
So, yeah, that's the last week of my life.
You should probably schedule some woods time then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
make the time
to.
for
Unfortunately, I'm kind of in my busy season. I kind of have one foot in both worlds. I kind of do have bills to pay and stuff like that still.
Right.
So it's hard to do that out in the woods. So during the summer, I run a construction business, and I've been trying to manage that, for the last few weeks, and still have my time out in the wild to do what I really love to do. And also, of course, I'm teaching classes out in the woods. So
yeah.
It's a hard battle having, I can't leave modern society totally and go live in a cave. I mean, maybe hopefully one of these days, but until I get some stuff paid off and stuff like that, I'm
especially
balancing both worlds.
Once you become a part of the system, it's hard to get out of it. You can't just cut loose completely.
Well, I mean, you got to admit, air conditioning's really nice. Having a roof over your head, and food in the fridge, and stuff
it's awesome.
Like that. The dream of going out and living like where you can just go out and grab any tree and fashion it into whatever you want to, and harvest food and stuff like that. A lot of it's not completely reality that people that they think that it is with primitive survivalists.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty rough life, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even some of the the Native American Ishi, he was the last Indian that was actually captured in America. I think they captured him in 1910. But all of his tribe got wiped out, and he could only make it on his own. He only made it for like 3 years out there. I'm not saying that there's not people that can't make it for long periods of time, but it's pretty rough existence.
Mm-hmm.
When you're out in the woods, you give up all your comforts and you trade your labor to recreate those comforts out there as best you can. But I still like to come home to a soft bed and air conditioner every now and then.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, civilization's natural, though. The whole dream of being able to go out and just live off the land is kind of a pretty dream. But even if you go out there and you try to survive out on your own, eventually you're going to evolve too, and you're going to try to improve your situation every day by finding ways to improve the technology around you, just like civilization has.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's guys that, there was a guy up in Maine the other day that had been living up in the woods for like 20 years or something like that, but I don't know about his mental status. Of course, I don't know about mine either, but
all by himself?
Better than his. No, it's just, when you got, I've got a son, I've got child support, I got vehicles, I got responsibilities, and plus I travel all over the country, and it'd be kind of hard to do that on a horse or something like that. So
That'd be so cool,
I'm not sure I can pay my insurance. So I try to, I spend as much time in the woods as I can, but seriously, I've been so busy doing all this since survival's gotten so big. I've been so busy for the last, probably 2 or 3 years that I hardly even get out to go in the woods anymore. It sucks. I can't wait for things to slow down in my life and where I can go back to that Tony Pike again. Because that's, normally as soon as it cools off here in Missouri, you'll hardly find me because I'm out in the woods with one of my homemade bows.
Later.
And I make my own arrowheads out of flint and herbone, and I spend most all of the fall out in the woods hunting and camping out. But I found so much joy in sharing my knowledge with people that I don't know, it's kind of taken the place of my woods time. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like I've matured as an individual, and I want to give back to people, to teach them some of the things that I've picked up over the years of living the lifestyle that I've lived.
These TV shows, these survival shows that have become so popular lately, that's really what I think has given the boost to this whole genre for, you know, guys like you that have survival classes and in schools and things like that. There's a lot of popular shows now. People are really getting into this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of it too is. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I love that it's happening. I remember when Les Stroud's show first came out, a buddy of mine said, "Oh, Tony, you got to watch this show. This guy's into the same type of stuff that you're into." And of course, I've been into it since I was a kid, basically. Mm-hmm. But there was no, there was no way to learn anything back when I first got into it. You could go try to read books about Indians, and there was just a couple of survival experts that really were out there enough that people could, they might have a book here or there. I remember one of the first survival experts I ran into, Christopher Neargis. He's a guy out in California. He was on a survival show a long time ago. And it wasn't really a survival show. It was just another show, but they put clips of him in there every now and then. He'd be out in the middle of L.A., and he'd be eating grasshoppers or eating some bug or whatever. I thought, that guy's weird. But he's kind of like me. I mean, he's interested in the same stuff that I'm interested in. Not that I was eating a bunch of bugs back then, but that was my first taste of, hey, there's other people out there that have these interests, and maybe I'm not so weird. But for a long time, I kind of was the weird guy that played Indian out in the woods. According to my family and local community, that's what they thought I was doing.
It wasn't cool back then.
And that's wasn't cool. And then all of a sudden I became cool when it became popular.
But it's a good thing that it's cool now, because people need to know how to do this kind of stuff. You know, shit hits the fan. Yeah. You need to know how to, survive.
Well, and I think part of it too, because I've heard that before where we've talked to other peeps that do the same kind of thing that you're doing, and they've voiced that sharing that passion and teaching other people it, that because you can tell that those are the ones that really want to learn it and are passionate about it too, that gives them joy and makes them happy because they're actually sharing their passion with somebody else that there shares the same thing.
There needs to be a lot of those people out there. And that's what's cool about these TV shows becoming so popular and this whole thing, because there's guys like you that can now get people interested and come and learn some valuable things on how to survive if something, zombies show up.
It's very rewarding teaching the skills, and it's across the nation. Almost every single survival, I'm just going to call us all survival experts just because they're specialists or whatever we are, but almost every single one that I've talked to says that their life is being shoved in this direction. Doors are opening. It's not like opportunities are presenting themselves. Opportunities are falling in our laps, and we're being made to do these things, and we have opportunities that we can't pass up. So on the spiritual level, it's kind of it's interesting to talk to the other guys about it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a good thing. People need to know this stuff. I think a lot of people are kind of there's plenty of people out there that are just kind of sick with all of the crap that society brings with it. There's plenty of things that people are just completely sick and tired of. So it kind of pushes them towards that whole dream of, I want to go live out in the middle of the woods and have just a knife, and that's it. I'll be fine.
Well,
I've seen all the shows.
I think that the subconscious human, that primal human that we all originated from, our common grandfather, he had some certain traits about him that are in all of us in society nowadays. And even though our society has changed, humans themselves haven't changed all that much. We still like to sit around a fire. Mm-hmm. We still like to barbecue meat.
Not the way technology's changed.
And the farther down this trail you get in survival, you find more and more about the human that we are, and we're really not near as complicated as what the mainstream person thinks that we are. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I think a lot of the distractions and confusion from society keep us away from being who we really are, and I don't know, I don't want to sound all crazy conspiracy guy with aluminum foil hat on, but it's almost like we're being pushed that direction, and people want you running on that hamster wheel, and they don't want you to know that, hey, you can just walk out there to that willow tree out there in your yard and pull a stick off of it and chew on it. It's the same thing as going to the store and getting aspirin. But, nobody pays any taxes when you go cut a tree branch and eat it. So
from what? A willow tree?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that before. No, I agree with what you're saying.
What kind of tree can you get aspirin off of?
Willow.
Oh, sweet. Just learned something.
And I'm not saying that somebody can't go live completely out in the wild.
A lot of people can't. A lot of people, most people can't.
Right. And to encourage that, to make people that don't have that skill set think that they can do it, I think is dangerous, because we definitely, all of us as survival experts or survival instructors, don't want anybody going out and trying something that they're not capable of doing, and not having some safety precautions in place, connections to the outside world, and safety man to check on you every few days and stuff like that, because things happen. I've had things happen to me out in the woods, and I've wondered if I was going to make it back out to civilization again.
Like what?
There's no hospitals out there, so...
Like what?
I mean, as much as I hardly go to any doctors or seek any modern medical help as it is, but there's definitely a time and place for it.
So you can pretty much pull anything out of the wilderness, medicinal wise, that's taken care of anything you've had to deal with?
Not necessarily anything, but there's a lot of natural medicines out there that are just as effective as what you'll get in the pharmacy. But yeah, I mean, the leading killer in America isn't cancer, it isn't drunk driving wrecks or anything like that. It's medical malpractice. So there's a gamble with anything that you do in life. Going to the hospital is a gamble.
Yeah. I bet you there's some kind of plant out there in the middle of the woods that can heal broken bones. You bust your leg and just rub this plant on it, and it would heal it.
It's probably in the rainforest.
But the pharmaceutical companies don't want us to know about it.
Yeah,
too much money in broken bones.
I hate to say the one that I'm thinking because I may be way off, but there's a lot of the plants. I mean, we're supposed to be eating this stuff. They are so high in medicines. They claim that they make a big deal out of the medicines that are in the South American rainforest. Mm-hmm. But we have a lot of medicines that are growing right out there in your yard, in your neighbor's yard, just down the street from you, down by the creek or something, where there's just a slightly different bioregion where the different sorts of plants will grow there.
Absolutely.
But, it's almost like they would rather find one out of this area, and then they would rather synthesize it rather than harvest it naturally from the plant that produces it once they found out the effects on the people. But as humans, we're supposed to be consuming a diet of these natural medicines anyway. The salads that we should be eating, those salads have been hybridized and fruits and about everything that's at the grocery store. Those plants have been hybridized for their size and their color, sometimes for their taste, sometimes not so much for their flavor. Sometimes you find that before they started messing with the genetics of it, that it was actually a better tasting and more nutritious. Almost every time it's more nutritious before man starts messing with it.
Right, absolutely. Same with eating animals, like the way that they pump them up. Like you can go to Sam's Club. I don't know if you have Sam's Club in Missouri or not, but we have it in Minnesota, and you can go buy a rotisserie chicken, and it looks like it's totally roided out. Like, how did this chicken become so big? Like, it's not normal, Like you just...
Oh, yeah.
And the antibiotic resistance that's going on too with people, and a lot of infertility stuff going on with people. Like, it's just, I don't remember ever hearing, I'm going to be 38 tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm going to be 38, and I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I was going to tell you happy birthday. By the way.
Thank you. But just saying, at 38 years old, I don't remember seeing as a kid any of that stuff happening. It's just, and we, just ate what we ate, and my mom made dinner every night, and it just wasn't, I don't know. There was no fast food everywhere and all these different options, and it's just, it bothers me that that's how it's become.
People seem pretty healthy. people seemed pretty healthy, and they didn't have a lot of diseases that they have nowadays back then, So, I mean, we had a garden, and we canned our food, and we hunted. My dad and I have 4 older sisters.
Okay.
And,
jeez. You're the only,
my dad
you're the only boy?
Pretty well.
And, you and your dad?
I'm the only boy. Me and my dad, we basically hunted for dang near all of the meat that everybody ate.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We were hunting, trapping, fishing, frogging. If it was legal to go hunt and harvest, we were out after it. If it was good to eat, of course. Mm-hmm. But so I wasn't raised on all the all the beef and the chicken and the pork and all the stuff that has all these hormones in it that a lot of society were exposed to.
Oh, those hormones taste so
good. Until I was like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
But it's funny how they're seeing now societally, they're seeing that like young women are developing breasts and stuff like that at a younger age. They're larger and people are growing taller, and they're trying to, they don't want to point any fingers, but they're thinking that some of that's coming from the growth hormones that are pumped into these chickens and turkeys and
absolutely
all the stuff that we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's good for you. I think our natural caveman diet, the stuff that grows around you, greens, meat, fruits, and nuts. I think that's the type of, if you want to live a long life. Of course, I don't know. I'm only 44 years old. Who am I to say? Who knows? My diet may kill me in the next 10 years. But
what's the craziest thing you've eaten out in the wild?
Oh, I don't know, grubs and grasshoppers and.
That's not that crazy.
Let's see what I don't know what's crazy.
Well, anything that average Joes like us would think is gross.
Well, what's crazy to society, and what's crazy to guys like me, we have two standards.
Come on, Tony.
I think society's crazy, and they think I'm crazy. So
what would gross us out? What's the craziest thing you think that we would think?
Oh gosh, I've eaten a lot of. I don't know. I really love squirrel brains.
What? Really?
That probably sounds crazy.
Why squirrels? Are those particularly better than other brains, or what?
They are actually. They, squirrels have a diet that's high in nuts, and it creates it has a unique flavor.
Oh,
a lot of people are scared to eating squirrel. They say it tastes like chicken or something like that. It's way better than chicken.
There's like barely any meat on a squirrel, though.
How do you cook it? Do you like over an open fire? Do you boil it? Do you roast it on a stick?
In a hot dog bun.
You can cook it all kinds of different ways, and depending on the age of the squirrel, how tough it's going to be, you may want to prepare it different.
Brains are super nutritious, aren't
young
they?
Squirrels tender, you can just fry them. What's that?
Our brains are like all super nutritious and have all kinds of vitamins and whatnot in them, don't they?
Brains?
I didn't catch all that.
Brains. Oh, yeah, brains. Aren't they supposed to be really healthy and good for you? Nutritious?
Yes, they are. Okay, so you are what you eat, right? So if you're a weightlifter and you're lifting weights and you're breaking down your muscles, which are made of protein, right? So you need to replace that protein, so you eat more meat, right? And then the closest meat that you can find to the human composition is the easiest meat protein for your body to break down and turn into new muscle. So ideally, I mean, if we ate human meat, our muscles would repair faster than if we eat beef. So whatever's closest to us is typically best for us.
I'm gonna start eating people
because you are what you eat.
I'm gonna start eating people, Tony. You convinced me.
So check this out, and this is something I was going to touch on earlier. Back when I was a kid, they told us it was okay to eat saccharin and it wasn't okay to have sugar.
What's saccharin?
And like the first time I drank a diet soda, I didn't know it was diet. I drank half of it and I threw up. My body immediately said, "No, you're not putting this crap, this poison in your body." So I kind of gained a distrust for the FDA and stuff like that at an early age. But now they're telling people to not eat brains. Brains contain an emulsified oil.
That's why zombies eat
called
brains.
lecithin.
Yeah,
and
so good for you.
Lecithin is very good for, guess what? For your brain. because it helps your brain work. It's what's in brains.
Brains.
I just see this throughout what modern society sees versus what us primitive survivalists see. And it's like in every category, I can point out something. Hey, that's not right. those shoes that they tell you to wear, no, you're better off just taking them off, walking barefoot. Then your posture, your spinal alignment, and everything else will work itself out. Your circulation will improve. You won't be cold as often.
That's a hard sell, brother. That's a hard sell. Trying to convince people to eat brains, no matter how good they are for you. That's a tough one.
Take your shoes off. Take your shoes off and eat brains. Come to my school. Yeah, most people don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
listen to it for a little bit, and they'll be like, "Well, yeah, you're probably right."
Doesn't sound good at all. You could brains if you found out, like in a lab, you found out definitive proof that brains cured cancer, you'd still get people that won't eat it.
Oh yeah. I guarantee you. Yeah, everybody has this. Modern society has these preconceptions about what's gross and what's not. You know, what has cooties, and what don't, and they don't realize the cooties are up at the fast food restaurant, and then in the dang cooler at the 7-Eleven, and the good stuff is what they think is dirty. You know, back when I was younger, being 44 years old, we didn't have a lot of AC and a lot of the modern conveniences, and sweating wasn't a big deal when I was younger. This is just something that just came to me the other day. Nowadays, it's really gross if somebody's sweating. If you go to the gym and they're sweating over there, ew, you know. But, hey, you know, the best thing for that person is to be sweating, because that purifies the system. You get a bunch of toxins out of out that you just couldn't process otherwise.
But it stinks.
There's just it stinks. It is gross. But we're constantly going away from the natural order of what Mother Nature wants us to do and be, and I think it's bad for society as a whole. It's great that some individuals are trying to keep aware of these other opportunities that are out there for us, but I don't know. It's kind of saddening that so many of society are they're just heading the direction that I just don't even understand. It's not good for them, but
there just needs to be a balance, and that's the thing that everyone can't just get together on. There needs to be a balance, and like all of you survivalists say, and many people say, it's all about moderation. Mm-hmm. Moderation.
Yes.
It's that one thing could solve so many problems, but there's just so many greedy bastards out there that can't do it.
You'll see that's a bad human tendency, I think, to overindulge in one area.
That's kind of our thing.
I think it's part of our psyche. At some point, overindulgence was a good thing. When we first learned how to have enough to overindulge in, it actually made us stronger to eat too much bear fat or whatever, you know, and we developed from it. But now we're so rich that our bodies, and we just can't handle everything. But you'll see that out in nature when you watch, say, a deer eating. A deer grazes. He'll take a nibble of this, and then he'll take a nibble of that. He'll move a little bit farther, take a nibble of something else. And if humans ate like that, we would be a whole lot healthier. We wouldn't have large stomachs built for handling big 5-course meals and buffets and stuff like that.
Ugh.
Yeah, but deer are still living out in the woods. They don't have iPhones and cars, so I'd rather be a human.
Well, yeah.
Deers are stupid. We're smart. No, I'm just messing with you. I agree with you on many of those points. But it's like, who's gonna fix it? How are we gonna fix it? You gotta get everybody on board, and I don't see that happening. There's how many billions of people on the planet now? And
it's because the convenience factor has been
just
created.
Easy. Yeah.
So now it's easier, you know.
We're too smart for our own damn good.
Right, but it's because you're living in a house that has 8 bedrooms that you never even go in half of them.
Yeah, but I want all 8 of those bedrooms.
But you want all 8 of them. And then in turn you have to work and do whatever, and like, I don't know, you just keep snowballing.
Yeah, we kind of suck.
Adding things.
We're so badass, but we really do kind of suck too. In a lot of ways.
Yes and no. I mean, some people being in one area of a lifestyle, and then other people in other areas. That's how nature works. You know, some of those squirrels that here a while back, I read this article about some squirrels that they something happened that separated them, and there were some very slight differences from one bioregion to the other. But there was a little bit different food on one side of the river than the other, and some other minor things had happened. But these two different squirrels kind of developed into, they were the same at one point, but supposedly they developed into two different kinds. One was bigger, one was smaller, and they both had assets, strengths that may be necessary in some situations, but not others.
Right.
So biodiversity is really important among all races, and you know, who knows? Maybe at some point in the future, maybe all the primitive survivalists will die off because we took the wrong path. I don't know.
Well, no, that's never going to go away because, you know, if you know how to make a fire, the fires always start the same way. You'll always be able to start a fire by rubbing some sticks together. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but
True.
there's also the like adaptability, like the just over time people change, like.
Yeah, that's natural. It is natural. That's natural order of humans. That's all we've been doing.
We had, and this is animal speak, but we had Nicole Appellian on, and she was getting ready to go to Botswana. And in Botswana, they have these female lions that have grown manes like males.
Yes.
And they
crazy.
act like males. Like they actually growl, and there's 5 of them in this, and this was back in, like, this article that I'm looking at is 2016, but...
Yeah, and the dudes think that they're males.
They even roar and mount other females so that they can prevent other males from coming and taking their territory.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, they just were like,
That's hot.
like, we're going to grow manes. Isn't that crazy, though?
That is crazy. You know, I've been hitting Nicole up for a few years to take me to Africa. She still hasn't yet.
Are you ready for Africa, Tony? Because she goes over there and she rides lions. She wrestles with lions and climbs elephants, and she's crazy.
She's awesome.
No, she's amazing.
Ask her the story about her ostrich egg.
Okay.
If you have 30 or 45 minutes.
Okay.
Pretty interesting. No, that's cool. That's interesting. That observation and we see this, you know, all throughout nature. Some of those things die off, and then other ones, you know, some get fed, other ones don't. It's kind of an observation that came to me not too long ago. That, you know, we always think of, if you're a follower of the evolution theory, that you think that these things come because of a physical change. You know, it could even be, according to the theory, Darwin's theory, it could be a deformity that turned into being a really huge asset, so that made that person breed more and sometimes breeds out the weaker genes and stuff like that. But here lately, what I'm wondering about, and especially in our modern times, if instead of it being a physical thing, it being a mental decision. You know, are you going to be a member of the modern society on the treadmill, or are you going to think outside the box and get back to your roots with the primal human and what we have that nature provides for us? And if these decisions could somehow ultimately affect the human evolution, I don't know. Just something to think about.
Well, I want to go back to the thing that I talked about with Nicole with the lionesses. So I discovered it and read about it, and this is the kicker about it, though, is that they're saying that these lionesses that acted like males never became pregnant, so they're suggesting that they're infertile. So that's why they're taking on this male persona.
Or they're just prudes.
No, I don't think that's what it is. All cats like to do it.
I don't know. Or maybe they don't like dudes. Maybe they're just sick of all the other male lions BS, and they're just like, no, I'm asexual now.
I don't know.
They're
male
millennial lions. I don't know.
They're kind of dicky.
Well, yeah, but I just think it's interesting to have it be where the lions are becoming infertile, or people are too. You know, like it's not just happening.
Yeah.
In our society, like animal society too.
There's some weird
Well,
things that happen in nature.
You know, and we are a part of nature. We like to, as man, we like to separate ourselves and think that we're not part of nature. But I'm pretty sure that we are. We can call ourselves civilized, but we're still killing each other. And we would gladly, if some enemy, no matter what that they look like, whether they were humanoid or any other thing, if they attacked us, we would kill the crap out of them. Just to survive, just like the lions do out there.
In nature.
We'll do what we got to do. So we are still part of that cycle.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're just the baddest ones out there.
For now, hopefully we'll stay there.
Yeah, well, nothing's smarter than us. There's plenty of things out there that can kill us that are bigger and stronger and faster, but we're the smartest, and that's why we've prevailed. That's why this is...
Well, we're smart enough to handle our next challenge. You know, when you think about it on the grand scheme of things, animals like, you know, I think alligators have been around for, I don't know, way longer than humans.
Yeah, those things are freaking dinosaurs.
Maybe smarter. Maybe smarter is not the... Maybe that's not the deciding factor, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to stamp us out completely, though. I don't think we're going anywhere for a while. But I agree. I mean,
I hope not.
We're not going in a good direction.
No.
It definitely doesn't seem like a good direction. But, I mean,
Yeah.
what are we going to do? What's the answer, Tony? Tell us the answer. Let us know what it is, and we'll do it.
Well, I think what happens with society, I think we get a little bit too far to the right. You know, before we run off the ditch, right about the time we start going in the ditch, we jerk the wheel back over the other way.
Yeah.
And then we veer too far the other way. I think that society was going a wrong direction, and now I think we're kind of getting some people back on track with getting them reacquainted with Mother Nature, you know, and back to our roots. I think as long as we keep coming back to that, no matter how advanced our species becomes, if we keep remembering where we come from, I think we'll be okay. At least until we're going to have to hit some big breakthrough. You know, because I mean, face it, we're not super smart creatures like.
We're pretty smart.
Like a lot of people think that we are.
We're pretty smart. We're the smartest
ones.
ones.
We can run an iPhone.
We are at the
somebody
top.
showed us how to run. Everything in our life, somebody showed us how to do. You know, we're not like all geniuses that invent stuff. And I think a lot of society thinks that we are. And I think that pride keeps them from opening their mind to learning new things.
I know, but like squirrels don't know how to drive cars. We do. We're definitely the smartest ones.
Well, sure.
You know what's ironic is how far away we've gotten as a society and everything from the whole nature aspect of things. But the main reason that a lot of people are now kind of turning back towards that and realizing, you know, kind of turning a cheek to all the bullshit of society and looking to that nature and that survival stuff that you guys are doing. The main reason for that is because of like the internet and TV. You know, if we didn't have that, they wouldn't have this awareness that these shows and these things you see online have brought to them. Isn't that kind of ironic? It's like a cycle.
It is. I think it's great, man. The Facebook and these different internet, you know, social media and stuff like that. When I was trying to learn this back in the late 80s and early 90s and trying to figure out how Indians made arrowheads and stuff like that, I heard all kinds of just BS and stuff that don't work. And I don't know if the Indians told some people this back in the days just to get a laugh out of people. Hey, let's tell them to get that rock out and then drop water on it and see what happens. Knowing it's going to explode. But there was so much misinformation and lack of information. And really, when the internet came about, gosh, here in the state of misery, it seemed like it was around 98 or so, I was really able to grow my knowledge and primitive skills. And I started hearing about things I had never heard about, and I knew the rest of the country hadn't heard about, and I thought, well, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. So then I really started becoming the weirdo who played with sticks and rocks out in the woods while nobody else was doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a weirdo. It just makes you just discovered it when he discovered it, and you were into it, and that's all that it is, you know.
And now it's come full circle.
Right.
And that's what I'm seeing a lot throughout society and a lot of situations. I made the mention earlier of us swerving too far to the right and too far to the left, but it kind of almost seems like everything, what I've come to realize here in the last couple of years, a lot of things come full circle eventually.
Mm-hmm.
If you go left far enough, you're on the right. If you go right far enough, you're on the left. So
yeah, look at cell phones. Look at cell phones.
Right.
First ones that came out were huge. And then the phones got smaller and smaller and smaller. Everyone wanted the smallest cell phone they could get, the thinnest, lightest, smallest, tiniest little thing they could get. And now they're huge again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now they're going back to iPad-looking things.
I'm just waiting for bell-bottoms to come back. Because when bell-bottoms are cool again, when they're cool again, I'm going to do it.
I feel like they were cool once.
Rock some bell-bottoms.
Once around for girls, though, not for guys.
No? No, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
You just watch.
Mm-hmm.
Wait and see.
All right.
All right, it's about time to pull this thing into this train into the station, Mr. Tony Pike. Do you want to?
I'm all ready.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, you want to tell everybody where they can find you online and give them the lowdown on your classes and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Well, my name's Tony Pike. I can be found on Facebook. You can look me up on the internet on my Survival Schools page, ancientwisdom.com. I run classes throughout the year. I'm all over the country. Get a hold of me. Tell me what you want to learn.
Okay. Apparently we got cut off there at the end when Tony was giving us like his social media info and stuff, but we'll make sure to include that in the show notes.
Yes.
So, that was a very fun and interesting episode.
Yeah, with Tony.
Yeah.
Pike.
Tony Pike. We tended to wax philosophical a little bit during that one.
Yeah.
Talking about all the crazy ups and downs that society has gone through and getting back to nature.
Yeah.
And the ancestral ways. And that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Is teaching those ancestral aspects of survival and whatnot. And what's his thing called? It's something to do with ancestral.
It's Ancient Wisdom Survival School.
Ancient Wisdom. That's what it was. Okay. So yeah. Sorry it got cut off at the end there. The episode was pretty much wrapped up, but it is what it is. It's technology, folks.
It happens. What are we gonna do?
It does happen. Yeah. So I suppose we might as well just go right into the outro, huh?
Yeah. Let's do
that. Boom. All right. Now that outro music is played, this is officially the outro.
Officially now.
Officially. Yes. All right. Let's talk about our sponsors, huh?
Yes.
Who are our sponsors, Frenzy? We got two of them.
We got two. We got Comics Watching Comics.
Hosted by Kevin Goatee, the beautiful Kevin Goatee.
Yes. And you can find them at comicswatchingcomics.com.
Damn right you can.
They're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Comics Watching Comics.
Yeah, go like all that shit.
They're coming soon to Amazon Prime.
Yes. Big news. That's big news for
Which
them.
is amazing. So check them out.
Do it.
And then we've also got the Sports Box Pod. Oh,
SportsBook.
It's too many words.
I know. The SportsBook Box Office Podcast.
Thank you.
Hosted by Kevin Goatee.
And Jeffrey Paul.
Two New York City comics. We cannot talk tonight.
I know what's going on.
That's all right. Two New York City veteran comics, and they talk about things like movies and sports, and it's right there in the title.
Yeah.
SportsBook Box Office Podcast.
Yep.
And where can you find them?
You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at the same handle. SportsBook Box Office Podcast.
Damn right. You better go like that shit too and listen to it.
Do it.
Now.
Yep.
We have we're going to be guests on the Showdown podcast
with
Vic Miller, Corey Miller, and Brad Scott. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be talking about creepy Christopher Lambert.
The movie Highlander.
Yeah, starring Christopher Lambert.
Uh-huh.
And me and Brad Scott are going to have a showdown of our own about who can be the creepiest Christopher Lambert.
There can only be one.
There can only be one creepy Christopher Lambert, and I will be that one because I'm a sorcerer, and you are all just mere mortals. Do I add like a little extra lisp in there when I do it? A little bit. I love it. And then also, we're going to have another one of the 502 of Comedy Brothers.
Yep, Thomas Remsky. Mm-hmm. From Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Damn right. Do they have that kind of accent in Scranton?
I don't know. Probably not.
Scranton. They all got southern accents. Mm-hmm. They're like, nope, we're not going to have that East Coast accent.
Nope. We just do it different.
We do it southern over here in Scranton.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's going to be awesome. We love all those 502 dudes. They're great. They've all been great guests, great friends.
Yeah.
And so looking forward to having him on.
Absolutely.
And that's it. We'll let you know what we got coming up later on.
Yeah, you can wait.
The rest of August.
Yeah.
But I do just want to mention we're going to have 2 live episodes coming up in August. In person. We'll still have our normal episodes that you can find on like iTunes and stuff like that, but we're also going to do a Facebook Live version. Mm-hmm. So while we're recording with them, you'll be able to watch it live on Facebook.
Yep.
So, oh shit.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's going to be a shit show.
No, it's going to be awesome.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. All right. We're done. Shit's over.
Yep.
Stop listening.
Yep. Go to bed.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Okay. We are going to play this episode out with a song by Kings of the City called Gravedigger.
Bye.
Later, fuckers.
Every good woman lies. Every good woman lies when they're wrong. Who's gonna bury my mind? Every grave digger dies. Every grave digger dies when they're gone. Who's gonna bury my body when they're gone? Who's gonna bury my body?
Living life round the sin is how it's been since power's in. Many men pump weight in the council gym, producing houses and student houses. We choose this outfit because we like to win, but what lies within these lies within? It's like everyone's breaking bad, cooking up food till they make it fat.